Luis, very nice talk. Are those nodes hubs? And if they are hubs, are they connected between each other, or they have a neighbor that connects them?
And some are connected directly, and some others need an intermediary partner. So we have been doing GIS2 hybrid systems and in vivo reconstruction experiments. Some of them bind directly, and some of them need a third partner to interact between them.
But there's no, master hub which connects to everything.
Oh yes, there is the original genes. They regulate everything, but not only this process, but many other processes involving seed development. Just, for instance, if you overexpress these master genes in the leaf, what happens is that they form embryos. So they are very far upstream.
Luis, to what extent these genes are specific for desiccation as opposed to responsive to general stress?
Yeah, that's an important question. The transcription factors, the majority seem to be seed specific. The effector genes some of them are common to other type of stresses, particularly to drought stress. So the effector genes, the superoxide dismutases and peroxidases, and for instance, the synthesis of oligosaccharides, it only happens in the seed. It doesn't happen in any other stress.
The first one is are these factors present in other plants? Can you find them in other plants, especially like in ancient plants or not? That's one. And the second one is, has been a clear connection between sugar signaling and stress, drought stress with ABA. Do you know if any of these transcription factors are important for sugar perception or?
Yeah, the genes encoding these transcription factors are very highly conserved in plant evolution. We still haven't finished the analysis in algae from which plants evolved, but they don't seem to have them or have a lower number of members of these gene families. But in plants, they are very highly conserved. Whether they do the same or not, the only thing we have analyzed is that they are also expressed in seeds. But there is no genetics or anything to demonstrate their function in other plants.
What about non-seed plants?
No?
In plants that do not have seeds.
There are not many genomes available to.
What about Mercantia?
In Mercantia, there are only some of them, but some of the Mercantias are desiccation tolerant. Not the one we use in the lab, but close relatives are desiccation tolerant. And the genes are there, yeah.
Expressed in the vegetative tissues,
Yeah,
again.
expressing it.
Thank you very much, Luis. Wonderful, as always. I wanted to hear your opinion going back to mitochondrial dysfunction and mitochondrial formation of oxidants. I've read a few years ago that mitochondrial uncoupling proteins in Arabidopsis protect from drought-induced stress. So what's your opinion or your view on that? Whether modulating mitochondrial function may be a way to increase resistance to dryness?
Yeah, well, that's certainly possible. It is difficult to know from previous experiments what gives drought tolerance and what not, because the experiments are not done in a systematic way. We see nuclear encoded genes of mitochondrial functions that are involved in this network. So suggesting that mitochondrial function has something to do with desiccation tolerance, but we don't have data to say how important is that so far.
Luis, going back to the small pair you showed at the beginning, do you know if their exome has been sequenced to find the stress genes or transcription factors? I'm thinking and extrapolating to humans that need to drink every 2 hours to avoid dehydration, with few exceptions of evolution of 2,000 years for the black race that can tolerate a little more at the expense of severe hypertension. So, could you comment?
Well, this, the genome of this water bear has been sequenced. There is not enough yet transcriptomic data to see what genes are activated during desiccation tolerance in this bear. But some interesting thing is that these LEA proteins that were supposed to be plant-specific, they are also present in this water bear. So they seem to be part of the system. But the process is quite complex because there are different ways to protect against the loss of water. So one of them is to reduce water loss. So that could have something to do with colored people, that they lose less water than others. And the other is resistant mechanism. Once you are dried, you need to activate things that actively protect the structure of your membranes and proteins and nucleic acids. So it's a complex system, and we don't know how to extrapolate from one system to the others to really understand what are the common aspects between little animals. Because one of the things is in animals, they are in general less than 5 millimeters long. Plants can be 3 meters high and still desiccation tolerant. So it's different.